guys, welcome back to RUE MORGUE TV. Andrea Subasati here with Dante of the Dead. And we've got a giveaway to announce. 5 new subscribers to RUE MORGUE magazine are going to win a pair of the Halloween special edition flats courtesy of Strange Cult. I have several pairs of their shoes and they are so comfy. They're awesome and you can win a pair, but you've got to subscribe. So I'm going to include a link in the description below of how to do so, and don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Hey everyone, I'm Last Chance Lance. You might remember me from RUE MORGUE magazine, where my column Last Rites is in every issue, and it's a column where I take 3 crappy movies and I count up all the dead people and I give you a drinking game and I beat it to death. Or maybe you've seen me on RUE MORGUE TV, where I have a segment called Ask Last Chance Lance, where you can send in all kinds of crazy questions and I'll give you all kinds of crazy answers. What a lot of you might not know, though, is that I'm a licensed mortician, which means I get to work with dead people. Yay! So we thought we'd put together a little Ask the Mortician segment for RUE MORGUE TV, and we've already had some questions sent in, and I'm going to answer them. So let's move on to the questions, and here's the very first one. Dear Last Chance Lance, when you die, what instructions will you leave for your mortician? Signed, Hopeless Necromantic. You will not believe how many times I've been asked that in my career. I don't know what the big idea behind what a mortician will do with his body, but I'll tell you, no fucking mortician is touching my body, because I see what morticians do to bodies. It's disgusting. The very act of everything that you do, the spears, the needles, everything that you do is completely disgusting. My body going right to science, take this, take that, rip out this, rip out that, these gone, skin, whatever. Whoever wants it, they can have it. But no mortician is touching this guy. Next question. Dear Last Chance Lance, what is your grossest embalming story? Signed, Stiff Upper Lip. Anything that involves insects is usually the grossest. And I've definitely in my time have had to take bodies out of houses that had been there for a very long time, let's say. If anyone's watched any of those forensic shows, there's always some nerdy coroner's assistant who's the insect specialist who can tell how long the body's been there by the amount of maggots or what wave they are. When you bring those into the embalming room, they can make quite a mess. Sometimes you'll get bodies that also have bed bugs, and they're horrible, fleas, earwigs, whatever creature is out there. If it sees food, it's going to go for it. It's always going to be gross. There's just a level of how gross it's going to be. Okay, next question. Dear Last Chance Lance, what is one thing about embalmers that most people don't know? Love a curious cadaver. Oftentimes, when you look at the way that morticians are portrayed in movies or TVs, it's always the same fucking thing. It's always they're in the coroner's office eating a sandwich or they're having something and they don't know where to put it. And they end up putting it on the body and doing what they've got to do. Eating in the embalming room is such a horribly awful thing you never want to do. Not because it's food and dead near each other, because the food is usually dead stuff anyway. It's the fact that there's so many fumes and so many liquids, so many noxious substances in there that can actually get absorbed into your food that you don't want to be eating that stuff at all. Even having a can of pop or some water in there, same thing. That's going to absorb the really horrible and mostly carcinogenic fumes that we deal with every day. It's tough to have to wear a mask outside of the funeral home, as anyone will attest to going through COVID-19. When you're in that embalming room and you've got to wear that mask, and sometimes a splatter guard too, because let's face it, it can get really, really, really fucking messy in there. Having to do that and then to leave and having to keep that mask on, that really sucks. Really, really sucks. But I'd rather wear the mask and the splatter guard and not have shit and mucus and piss and blood and stomach acid and bile and everything else that can come out of a body and will come out of a body come onto this body. Okay? Next question. Dear Last Chance Lance, what do you like better, embalming dead people or writing reviews for RUE Morgue? Signed, Rigor Mortis. No doubt about it, embalming dead people. Having to deal with dead people is so much fucking easier than writing for this magazine. You would not fucking believe it. The movies I have to find and watch and count the dead people and look for something similar, and it is horrible. Whereas having someone wheel in this dead body just brimming with disease or bugs or it's putrefied to the point that you couldn't even tell what color this person originally was, and the smells wafting it, all of that is bliss. Beautiful bliss compared to writing for RUE Morgue. So if you're ever thinking about writing for RUE Morgue, become a mortician instead. You'll thank me later. Next question. Dear Last Chance Lance, can you recommend a horror film that every aspiring mortician should see? Love, Corpse Lover. There's not as many movies set in funeral homes or in mortuaries as you'd think, and the ones that I have seen have all been good or bad for specific reasons. In 2005, Denise Crosby was in a movie called Mortuary. She's in this crazy movie where her and her kids take over an old funeral home, and she decides to become a mortician by reading how to do it in a book while the body's sitting right there. And any mortician who watches this will know just by the fluids and things that she uses that apparently no director or continuity editor or anybody actually looked up to see what it should look like. That one you can watch if you want to see what it's like before you become a mortician and go, hey, that's wrong. Last Chance Lance was totally right about that. There's a great movie from I think it's 1991, called The Boneyard. And it stars Phyllis Diller. And for those of you who don't know who Phyllis Diller is, shame on you! You should know who Phyllis Diller is. And what's great about this movie is that it's so fucking bizarre. It has crazy creatures and animals and kids, these disgusting creature kids that are the stuff of nightmares. And Phyllis Diller, it's the only movie that she ever did where she doesn't wear her wig, and she's always known for her wig. And when they were getting the movie ready to go, at one point she said, I don't think I should be wearing this for this. And she took it off, and the directors, most people had never seen Phyllis Diller without her wig on. They were like, that's fucking it. Do this, do this. And you will not believe this movie. If I could compare it to anything, it's kind of like Peter Jackson's Dead Alive. Like, it is that crazy and that cool, and that's how I wish it was to work in an embalming room, in a mortuary, with all of that fucking shit coming at you.
Hey, whoa, settle down, huh? Settle down.
Okay, everyone, that's all the time we have for questions. But believe me, it doesn't even begin to scratch the surface of what it means to be embalmer, what it means to be embalmed, for that matter, what you have to go through, what kind of fluids and instruments and tools that you use, what it's like to date an embalmer, what it's like to be dated by an embalmer. There's so many things that we can talk about. If you have any questions, just send them into the comments below. And if you like this segment of RUE Morgue TV, write them and say that you're going to cancel your subscription unless we continue it. Until next time, no sponges in the embalming room. Oh. That's for the outtake.
You did that before, though. You schlinked it right in the eye.
I do a lot of schlinking.